Hello and welcome back to another video. So this time I'm basically just going to give you an overview of the fastest way to gear up your alts in patch 6.0. Of course, the 6.0 coming out, a lot of people are coming back to the game, they're boosting up characters, and I'm sure lots of you have got sort of crappy alts that you maybe want to get into Siege of Orgrimmar so you can get your Garrosh heirloom, or maybe you just want gear so you actually have something to do for the next month. Well, this guide should help you out. Now then, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Blasted Lands, especially if you're on a boosted character. If you do these Blasted Lands quests, you will get an item level 515 ring, cloak, neck, and then you will also get a 520 trinket. This is pretty good, and it's going to help you fight the mobs you'll face on the Timeless Isle, which will be the next bit of the guide. Now, if your character isn't boosted, maybe it's just sitting at 463 in pretty bad gear, what you can also do is just buy some of the old reputation stuff from Pandaria. It now costs gold instead of currency, and I think it's all available very easily, so yeah, that's the thing that you could do. Anyway, after you do the Blasted Lands and get that gear, you want to head to the Timeless Isle. And once you arrive at the Timeless Isle, what you want to do is pick up all of the, basically the smoldering and blazing treasure chests, as well as picking up any of the moss-covered chests that you find. I will put a map up on the screen which will help you find that. You will get a whole bunch of timeless armor tokens, which is pretty great, and you'll also get a Burden of Eternity from the blazing chest. You will want to use that Burden of Eternity on one of the timeless armor tokens that you find just on the island. You will also want to complete the quests there because they will give you a timeless armor token. Another thing that you will really want to do is just loot all of the little patches of sand on the beach, and the reason for that's because you can get an item called Rollo's Riddle or something like that. This gives you a very easy 3-part quest, which you can find numerous guides on the internet for. It is quite easy. And yeah, that will also result in you getting a item level, 496 bit of gear. So between doing all that stuff on the Blasted Lands and then getting Timeless Isle gear on the character you're currently playing, and maybe sending some spare bits of tokens that you have on your alts over to that character, you should be at a decent enough item level, at least good enough to get into Throne of Thunder LFR. So the reason why we're going into Throne of Thunder LFR is not actually for the gear, it's for rep. Though, I suppose I do recommend just turning any of your remaining, or at least 1 or 2 of your remaining batches of Timeless Coins into Mogu Runes of Fate, and then just using them on some of the bosses for extra loot, especially the bosses that drop weapons, though I will talk about weapons in a minute. Anyway, so what you want to do is run Throne of Thunder until you reach friendly with the Shadowpan Offensive faction. This is really good because it's going to unlock a lot of gear for you, and the gear is actually not that expensive. So once you are friendly with the Shadowpan Offensive, you'll be able to buy lots of great gear that is item level 552. The vendors for this faction are located at Nujao Temple and also at the Isle of Thunder. However, the one at the temple is far easier to get to, so I'd recommend just doing that. Here you will just, load up on that gear. It costs about 3.5k for everything, but, it will increase your item level massively. Now, this gear used to cost Valor points, however, Valor's been removed from the game. Therefore, you'll be able to buy them for gold, just like with those other bits of Justice and Valor gear from patch 5.0 and 5.1 that you may have used earlier if you are not on a character that's starting off with the 483 boosted gear. Once all this is done, you should be at the required item level to run the new Upper Blackrock Spire. This can be queued by anyone who is item level 510 above, and it drops item level 550 gear, which again will just increase your eye level by a pretty massive amount. Now, one issue that I always face when I'm trying to gear up one of my characters quickly in Mists of Pandaria is finding a decent weapon. The good news though is that the requirements have been removed from the last season's PvP gear, meaning that it can be purchased for honor, so I recommend that everyone who doesn't already have some sort of good weapon just goes to Tolbarad, Wintergrasp, and then sort of kills some of the rare mobs in the enemy faction's Kasserang Wilds base, and then maybe, actually just does some real PvP to get some honor points so that you can buy those weapons. Now, you can get honor points extremely fast via those means, and if you want to fill in some other slots with PvP gear, then that is totally a valid thing to do. Anyway, once this is all done, you'll be in decent enough gear. You'll be able to start flexing Siege of Orgrimmar at the very least. So if, you really want that Garrosh heirloom, then you still will be able to get it. And really just mainly, you will be quite well geared and just ready to shred through the Tanan Jungle and Shadowmoon Valley leveling experiences, which is always quite nice and handy. So yeah, there you go. TLDR for this guide is go to the Blasted Lands, do the quests, go to the Timeless Isle, get all the things, then do Throne of Thunder, then buy the Shadowpan offensive gear, then do the revamped Upper Blackrock Spire, and then do some PvP, or maybe do the PvP before, whatever, to get a good weapon, and that will see you pretty good. Anyway, that's it for the guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.